The leaders of Italy and France are meeting today to discuss new initiatives on immigration. This was the scene last hour in Paris. French President Emmanuel Macron greeting Italian Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte at the Élysée Palace. Now, despite smiles and friendly handshakes, these talks come amid widening rifts between the two countries over the issue of immigration and asylum. Dominic Velitis is in London. He's been watching this story for us. So, Dominic, what can we expect from today's meeting, especially in the context of these ongoing arguments that these two leaders have been having?
Well, at the heart of this particular rift, Natasha, is the Aquarius, a charity rescue vessel for migrants and refugees making the Mediterranean crossing. Now, last weekend, it picked up more than 600 migrants who were found in inflatable boats just off Libya's coast. But both Italy and Malta refused to let her dock at their ports. And that drew some fierce criticism from the French President Emmanuel Macron, who said their decision was both cynical and irresponsible. Now, Italy, which, to be fair, has taken in a lot of migrants, hit back, accusing the French of being hypocritical before summoning the French ambassador in Rome, demanding an apology for the comments, and then cancelling a meeting between the two countries' economy ministers, which was scheduled for this week. They're trying to patch things up now. Macron, as you say, is meeting with Italy's new Premier Giuseppe Conte for a working lunch in Paris to discuss, among other things, new initiatives on tackling immigration. But all this has really underscored the deep divides which exist in Europe on how to deal with another summer surge in migrant arrivals from across the Mediterranean. Here's Leonard Doyle from the International Organisation for Migration.
We unfortunately have a toxic narrative about migration at the moment. So anything rational that's done, you're going to get a highly irrational response from those on the extreme right of the political spectrum and from the populist media. So it's very difficult. There's very little space for political leaders to show leadership at the moment. And that's why I think everybody's playing past the parcel and hoping that Italy will continue to accept them.
Now, how the burden is shared fairly and equally by European countries, Natasha, is the bigger issue here, and one that is expected to dominate an EU summit at the end of this month.
So we know earlier in the week, France was quite critical of the way Italy is handling this crisis, but now there's a new report out being very critical of the French police. What are you hearing about that?
Yeah, that's right. A new report out this week from Oxfam paints a pretty damning picture of what's happening at the French-Italian border. It describes how French police allegedly routinely stop unaccompanied migrants' children, alter their paperwork to make them appear older than they are, and then put them on trains back to Italy. And the charity says children also report being physically and verbally abused, being detained overnight in cells without food and water, and being denied access to an official guardian. Reports too, Natasha, of how border guards allegedly cut the soles of the shoes of migrant children and steal their cell phone SIM cards. And one case highlighted by Oxfam in their new report alleges that a very young Eritrean girl was forced to walk back across the border along a road with no pavement while carrying her 40-day-old baby.